Donna, on for part three. So, really want to hear how everything has been for you. Last time we called, you said you had earned 100,000 in revenue from drop shipping. So, we'll be interested to hear how everything has developed in that sense. And lifestyle as well, I'm guessing, would have changed quite a bit. It was 4 months since our last interview. I know I just rambled quite a bit. So, first, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for the part three. Thank you for getting me back on. So since we last caught up, a bit has actually changed. So the money that I made through dropshipping, I started to reinvest back into a personal brand. That's literally behind me. They're the orders that I got to put out tomorrow. It's all fully customized, fully personalized to me, which has been a massive step in obviously creating something that's my own. Because dropshipping is one thing, but then creating something of your actual own and doing the orders yourself adds a different type of appreciation almost, and just makes you makes it just more personal.
Explain a bit more. At what point did you transition to that from dropshipping, and what is it you're actually doing now? Or do you prefer not talking about the product?
I'll touch on it. I won't go into full depth. I'll touch on it. But
that's fine.
What I found with dropshipping, it's great, awesome to learn how you actually learn the dynamics of e-commerce. It's amazing. But it was really getting on my nerves about the shipping times for sure. Just how it's out of your hands. It's all based in China. So whatever they ship it out at, it might take 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. And that was the emails and just getting customers expecting it to be in a couple of weeks and not arriving for a few more weeks. And it just didn't sit well with me. And I was like, it's time to actually use that customer base now and sell a product that I'll be able to dispatch out the next day, and they'll be able to receive it in 7 days, a week, 2 weeks, whatever it will be, and have it an actual customer experience. So I've steered into skincare now. So my dropshipping brand was around skincare and stuff around there. And now I've gone into a full, a consumable product now, not just a product that you buy once and you use for 3 years. Now it's a product that you buy once and replace it every few weeks to maybe every month to 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. So it gets that repeat business now.
Right. So you have a subscription model going. And when you say you sold it to your existing or people who have bought from you prior, is it a similar product to before then, just literally customized? Or are there differences in the product from what you've done before?
Yeah, there are differences because the product I was selling before was a device opposed to an actual consumable, like a cream or something. So it's completely different, but it is within the same niche and within the same principles and stuff. So people who recently purchased or previously purchased, in fact, will use that product.
Okay, so I was going to ask, how did you end up marketing it then if it was a bit different? But you're saying if someone who had used the device previously is going to use the consumable, then completely makes sense. What did you send emails to those people? You had an email list of them, or what?
It had a pretty big email base. I think it was nearly 5,000 actually. So I did that through them to that as the first customers, and then I'm still promoting this product through TikTok and all that. And just what I've noticed a lot recently, especially, is steering away from actually talking about the product itself when I'm promoting it. I just start creating a personal experience by talking about how I left construction, how I've done certain things in the last year or year and a half, and how I've moved forward with my life, just being with different freedom, with all this kind of stuff. And I found that actually brings in a lot of people. People are very interested in what's going on, and then they buy the spot. They just click the link in my bio and buy the product that I'm selling. So it is. It's a very fulfilling thing, and because it's now my personal product, I love giving it to those people. I'll see people who are following me and always constantly commenting and stuff, and then I'll see them actually purchase it, and it's a different feeling you get. You're like, whoa, this guy actually is genuinely interested in me, genuinely interested in my product, and invested, and it's so much more fulfilling than when you just get all these random orders drop shipping, and you're sending them all over the world. There's a different feeling to it.
Interesting. So, how did you get the idea to create this brand and sell these products instead of just continuing to do dropshipping?
I just look. I was like, oh, how did I? What did I just found like I was using some sort of this skincare product. I was using a fair bit of it, and I was like, I'm just not happy with it. I said it needs to be a different. It needs to be like promoted more for like I guess boys, more of just have a cooler aspect to it. And I just decided I'll just give it a crack and see what I can do. And then I just started doing that, and I'm like, oh, it was sort of going on in the back end. I didn't really put much time into it, but it just was rolling. It was like a ball. It was like an avalanche almost. It just started rolling, and I was like, oh, well, it's actually moving forward now. It's progressing, and then all of a sudden, it's fully up and running. Within like it took me about what was it four? It would have been for February, probably 5 months, I reckon, to get it fully like out and running into like sales and stuff. But yeah, just at the back end, fine tuning everything. So yeah, so I went off topic on that.
No, no,
But
no, no. All good, all good. Okay, and monetarily, what is that translated to? Are you comfortable revealing?
so far, it's been not. They haven't been as big as what I did dropshipping. It's fairly new. I literally only released it about 3 weeks ago. So I've done probably
Mhm.
5,000-6,000 in sales so far, and that's been a pretty like for me, I was over like wasn't expecting much, and there's been a lot more than I was expecting. But yeah, it's been like a sort of a soft start, but like I know that it's longevity is in it, so that's like I wasn't expecting to have a massive like boom of sales straight out of the gate. I was like,
Mhm.
it's now it's my personal thing. It's long term. It's not just temporary. It's like I would rather just
Yeah.
gradually grow each day to being something that's massive.
Yeah, completely makes sense. Okay, so now I want to go more into how lifestyle has changed. If there have been any differences there in the past 4 months, is there anything
What have
that
I
comes to mind?
look, just doing a lot more time, a lot more stuff for me. That's what I've been, especially recently, just solely focusing on fitness, mental health, just doing things I've always wanted to do, actually experiencing life, doing life things. Because I always now like on Saturdays and stuff on the weekend, we go out to like nice restaurants. That's like a thing I've always put in, like just experience some of the nice things in life instead of being cooped up inside or going to get takeaway food. Go do like something nice, spend a couple $100 on dinner, get a nice bottle of wine. Just do like it was pretty cool stuff. Just experiencing life. That's been like the main thing lately.
Hmm. Okay, that's very cool that you can actually spend your money on something as an experience. The finer things in life, I guess that would be the saying.
Yeah,
So that's been nice. Yeah, I mean that sounds nice. Uh, what about mindset? Any changes? Or has it still
mindset.
been similar things? As in, are you still in the similar routine to 4 months ago? Or have things maybe developed in terms of mindset in any way?
Mindset just being what my actually it's probably changed a little bit because my mindset originally used to be was solely focused on like money. That was like the big thing that I had going. Like I just wanted to focus on making money, and there was with doing that, it's good. Yeah, like it's good mindset to have, but then it was pulling me away from like how do I explain this? Like it was pulling me away from like being myself, and I found that more when I came back to being the real person, like being myself, talking about my experiences, is this related to like my TikToks and stuff. I was generating more money by just not, in fact, chasing after it, just focusing on myself, speaking about myself, showing that I can actually have these experiences presented to other people to help. Like I get like now I get so many messages. Like I just had a couple before, people asking me, "Oh, like, thank you for I watched that video of yours. Thank you. That changed my mindset. That's done this stuff." So yeah, that was. I went off track with that as well, but
No,
yeah,
no,
like
no.
this is
Wait, like I'm happy to hear this. So
yeah.
go as
So
in depth as you want.
yeah, as I steered away from just focusing solely on money, being like more of a giver as well, if that makes sense. Like just helping others as helping people, giving people advice and guidance. That was being like completely changed my like avenue and stuff. Like by doing that, I feel like more money is sort of coming in, and yeah, it's just like what you put out is what you get in return, as they say.
Mhm. Right. Okay, so since you're doing this personal, as in building a personal brand now, are you still into drop shipping or are you solely focused on it?
Well, I've got my dropshipping brand still going. That still
Mm-hmm.
does its own thing on the side. So that's like doesn't I don't promote much on it anymore. It just gets like its sale, a couple of sales here and there. But then I've also like steered into actually this is another because it's another thing we're doing is with my brother. We're doing a clothing brand now, which is like that's just that's pretty much in the making as we speak. Like we just ordered the stock and stuff. We've done like all the bits and pieces for it, and we're just away. It'll probably be about 5 weeks now. We'll receive all that stuff, and that will be another avenue we're going down. I'm going down, which is crazy because I was like, we were just speaking about it the other day. I was like, it was so quick and easy to do. Like as Tate says, all about speed. Like his number one rule, speed. And within like we were talking about it, and within a week we already had the whole thing organized, store set up, already taking sales, organized like the clothes that we're going to sell, or the stuff we're selling. It made it all like private label straight away. So it had like custom package, like packages, custom, all this kind of stuff. Within a week, we'll sort it out. Send a couple of messages, transfer some money, and it was done. So in that dynamic, it was really cool to see how quick and easy something can be set up once you like understand the basic concept of it.
Mm-hmm. What is the process for actually marketing a clothing brand?
Just post for us, it's just been posting TikToks like without even sort of talking about the clothes. That's been a big thing. We just post interesting videos, and because the clothes sort of stand out, if you position yourself right when you do it, people will be like, "Hey, where'd you get that from? Hey, where'd you get the jumper from? Where'd you get the t-shirt from?" And then you just be like, "Oh yeah, here's the link." You just give the link, and then those comments normally get a fair amount of likes. Like you say, might get 100 likes, so it'll be at the top. And then people will just straight away see the link and be like, "Cool." And they don't even associate sort of the brand with you. They'll just go like purchase it. And like we've had like nearly 20 or 30 sales, and we haven't even gotten the goods yet. We've just got the website up and running. Like the website's just sitting there. I think the clothes come in like 5 weeks.
Interesting.
So it's pretty cool.
Because yeah, usually I say people from my high school, I see quite a few have tried to do a clothing brand, but it just doesn't work out for them. So it seems something that people usually try. Like it's a fairly common thing to try, but hard to
Yeah.
scale. But it seems you found how to scale it.
Yeah, well, that's we just like we're sort of following a trend with this thing as well. Like we sort of got in earlier. I'm pretty sure with what we've done is pretty good. So like we were like originally we're just going to do like just do the trend and just make a bit of money and just leave it. But then we're like further analyzing it, and we're like, hang on, no, like this is actually a really good name. This is actually could be a really good brand. Let's just do it properly from the very start. Give everyone the right like experience, and then just use this as actually our clothing brand together, as a brand that we've done together, and let's just see what we can get out of it. See what we can get out of it, and that's what we. That's yeah. I do see a lot of people doing clothing brands. Like I've seen, so same with my school. Like there's a lot of people from my like school that have actually done it, but I don't know. They don't promote the way I see they promote. They don't promote the right way. They
Yep.
they're still stuck in their post on Instagram kind of ways. Like that's old school, man. Like this is 2023. Jump on TikTok, put yourself out there, wear your clothing brand. Don't just talk about your clothing brand, talk about yourself, make it personal, create a story behind it, and people will buy it.
Right. Interesting. Okay. That's some insights for me as well. Because yeah, you'd think for a clothing brand, you want to build up some prestige for it. So you need to do some events, then advertise those events on Instagram,
Yeah,
maybe get some celebrity sponsorship potentially for it
yeah.
to try get it out there. Like I guess you're saying that's all old school. All you really need to do is
Old
build
school
up
now.
TikTok, make yourself relatable, make entertaining content, and just wear those clothes, and people will be interested in it.
100%. That's all it takes.
Nice. Okay. Good to know. I'm sure viewers learned some insights as well. Okay, so you have clothing, the personal brand, still doing some dropshipping on the side. Where do you see everything scaling for you in the short term, medium term, and long term?
Look, for short term, it's actually like I already started to look at my personal brand, like bringing in more products. Like I haven't even sold out of my first batch of stuff, but I'm already looking at bringing in another product to the thing. So that's in the making, literally as we speak. I've been testing samples and stuff because that's what I learned from when I first started this. Like, because it does take a lot of time, a bit of time to get things from your mind into production and then to actually receive the product. Like, it does take a little bit of time. So you want to be a few steps ahead. I learned that from my first trial, and now I'm like, okay, cool. I'll focus on the second product now. So hopefully by the time, maybe when I sell out of this, I'll already have the second product here ready to go, sell that straight away, then just get like a system of like, just a system going, if that makes sense. And I reckon by the end of the year, I would like to have like a 2-product store for the personal brand. That's the ultimate goal.
Okay, nice. And I see your background looks different. So is it just a different room, or did you actually move somewhere different as well?
No, this is actually this used to be an old bedroom. So then my brother's actually moved in as well because he's over there. It's his desk over there. I've got like this side here, which is like got my orders and all that. So it's the same room. We just redesigned it, made it more of an e-commerce room.
Oh.
So now it's just, like we've got a lot. Like it's an e-commerce room. That's what it is.
And I don't remember. Were you living with your brother last time as well? Last time we called, or is this something more recent?
This is that he's been with me. Yeah, he's been living with me.
Ah, okay. So how has that been? Have you noticed improvements in productivity since living with your brother?
Yeah, we both like really help bounce ideas off each other. Like that's a really good asset. Like if I'll be down on some spots and not understand like, oh, why this is happening, why I can't do this. And he'll be like, hey, why don't you look at it from this avenue or look at it from this perspective? And I'll be like, oh, you're right. And then vice versa. He'll have times where he's like struggling at stuff. And I'll be like, hey, like, why don't you do it like this? And then it'll work for him. Like it's really, really good to just be able to bounce ideas off each other. And because he's got his own personal brand as well, which he does stuff as like he sells stuff as well. And it's been like, it's fun. Like when you see like him, like when you see him getting like sales and stuff, I'm like, oh, like it boosts the morale around here. Like, oh yeah, cool. Like I want to get some sales as well. And then it's like, it's a high energy.
Mm-hmm. All right. Awesome. Love that. Are you planning on moving out from Australia though? Or do you plan on staying there?
That is like, that's what I want to go next year. I want to do 6 months definitely in Europe. That's like sort of set on that. Just go and spend the summer over there and then come back for the summer here and have like the base, like have like be able to do that. But in the long term, I reckon, yeah, I will eventually get out of Australia and base myself, I don't know, maybe in Europe. I feel like that's a place where I sort of belong. I think it's just more of a vibe over there, and everything's close. You can drive to different countries instead of having to fly to different countries, and everything's just like you can experience so much more.
Mm-hmm. Okay, nice. I like that. And what about, I think I might have asked this last interview, but I'm wondering what kind of an impact has Tate had on you? Is there anything more to add there?
He's been like really, I've been loving his like lately now because they must be pushing like more content out hard. You just see some funny, it's just been very motivating for sure. Like I know that for like, I still do this one workout that I saw in a video, I don't know, like start of the year. It's like an extreme burpee where he does like with the barbell. Like he does like, I've been doing that like a fair bit lately. And it's like, there's like these little things, like you get these little pushes of motivation. You just hear his like voice, like somewhere in the back of your head saying something about something like, oh, I better go to the gym or I better do this. And it's been like, yeah, awesome. Like he's massive improvement.
Yeah, a quote that really stands out to me, that really motivated me from a recent video is, are you from Jupiter because you're stupider? Went something like that, but man, those words were so motivating for me. Did you say that?
He's got some really, really good stuff. He's got some good stuff.
When they were in prison, that was pretty funny.
He was singing that song.
There was like the song he made. And I can't remember the exact quote, but it was something like rhyming Jupiter was stupid.
Yeah.
And then going to Venus because he has no penis. That was something interesting. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, man, so motivational, crazy.
Yeah,
that's a side note. I'm joking. All the new content they've been doing has been super interesting. The David, I forgot his name, the interview with the psychologist, the second part. Did you listen to that?
That's what it was. I saw a 10-minute edition. Is that the? Is that?
Okay.
I haven't seen the long
No,
form
it's
one yet.
over 2 hours, I think, the full interview.
Yeah,
So definitely worth a listen. That was super cool.
yeah,
On
sick.
a
Because I
serious
saw
note.
a 10-minute one like that,
Okay,
and that was only a couple of days ago. So yeah, I'll look out for that 2.5 one.
cool. All right. What else do we have? So average day, any difference from 4 months ago to now?
Average day now, I've just been waking up. I get up. Look, I'll go from this very start. I wake up look between 6:30 and 7:30, depending on the day. I don't know. Wake up. No alarm clocks because I don't need the alarm. I'll just wake up naturally. I'll get up, have a coffee, or some days I actually have a coffee because I find sometimes coffee like makes me have like a super high and then a super low. So it depends on the day. So we'll just like however I feel, and then we'll normally do like I won't train in the morning lately. I've been doing it midday-ish, but I've been fasting until 12 o'clock, doing like intermittent fasting. That's what it's called, till 12 o'clock.
Yep.
So I'll train. I've been doing at least it's an hour, at least half an hour to an hour of exercise a day. If that's either gym, going for a run. Like the other day, I went to the local oval, ran like 8 laps. Every lap I ran, did like 25 push-ups after each lap. So I did like 200 push-ups in like the course of like half an hour or something. It was really, it was an awesome workout. Normally pack some orders when I get sales. So I'll pack orders for a portion of the day, take them to the like a post office, some part. So I don't know. I just do a lot of random things. It's a little bit focused on the e-commerce. Like probably 20% of my day is focused on e-commerce, if that. Then the rest is sort of focused on myself. Because I find when you focus on yourself more and get yourself right, everything else sort of just fits in. The puzzle just works.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very cool. What about the real world? Are you still using that? Have you gone on to any other campuses? Are you still always still using e-commerce
No,
campus?
not really. I haven't even, to be honest, I haven't even gone on it for, I don't even know how long. I've just been focusing on I've got my stuff right. So it just sits there in the background. So it's like one of those things I just like, it's there. If I need to access it, just access it. But like, it was a great, like for it was the year that I was hard on it was like, I learned so much. And now that I'm at a point now where I can sort of sit, I understand what I know. I've learned a lot. I've learned like I've learned a shitload. Like I would never, a year ago, I wouldn't have thought in like a million years that I was going to start like have like a skincare brand, have my own personal brand, have a clothing brand. There's no way I would have thought that. But like so it's good to have in the back end. But yeah, just solely focusing on myself. If I need help with anything, I ask. But yeah, for now it's been good. Just doing my things.
Okay. So what you're saying is you graduated Hustlers University.
I would say you'd actually say yes. I've seen the AI stuff. I haven't gone onto it yet, but that seems like an interesting thing. That's been pretty prominent at the moment. Like all this AI stuff I've seen, especially when it comes to like TikTok. I've noticed there's a lot of like just they tell like stories of like people that have like passed away or like stuff that's happened, but they do it in AI format. And I'm like, well, this is like a really good like thing because it's like there's no you can do whatever. You can make a story that gets like 200,000 likes. All you need is a link in the bio, and I guarantee people will purchase stuff from me. But it's been interesting. So that could be something I look at doing. Maybe once I get my brands like stable and just like flowing, to drop back in and do something else.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, that's completely fine. It helps you build up a foundation, set you on the right trajectory. That's the point of it. You don't have to stay there for forever. Like once you've learned whatever it is you wanted to learn from there, then you move on with the skills you've learned. It's not something that will try to keep you in for like years and years. It's completely up to you if you want to stay after you've learned everything you wanted to learn.
Yeah. And that's like a thing that
it's always evolving as well. So at some point in future, you can always go back and find other content you want to learn, other skills. It's very versatile. What are you going to say?
Exactly. I was going to say what I learned in the year being in it. look, you don't learn that like on YouTube and stuff. It's very hard to find those right answers, that right knowledge. Like I saw it firsthand because I tried that before I joined the Real World Hustlers University. I was like just watching 2 hour long videos, like getting some notes out of it, but like missing key points. So it's great to like learn everything you can, and then go and step out on your own. It's like the best thing ever.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, so to end off, for people who are unsure about joining the real world because maybe they think it could be a scam, what advice would you have to them?
Oh, honestly, just do it. Like I've got like people, I still get messages to this day about people asking, and I say yes. I say 100% jump in and just give it a crack. I said don't try, because people have said to me, "Oh, I've been there for a month, I've made no money." I said sit in there and actually give it a crack. Like, it might take you a month, it might take you 3 months, it might take you 6 months. Everyone learns at a different rate. Everyone has different like knows things differently. If you jump in and you give it a red hot crack, guaranteed you will learn something. You might who knows, you might not learn everything you wanted to know, but you'll learn more than you actually were going to be just by yourself. Like that's what I found. If you can just focus on it for a good stint of the time, watch the videos, ask the right questions, actually do like practical stuff like set up a store, try get some sales, see where you need questions. We see where questions come up, and then go get those answers, and you can't go wrong. Like you honestly can't go wrong with trying it. That's my point of view. You can't go wrong with trying it. If you don't try it, you actually end up failing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so thank you for coming back on. I'd love to do the catch up. For people who want to find out more about what you're doing or to contact you, where can they do so?
Dana Dipaolo on Instagram. So DanaDipaolo on Instagram. Just shoot me a direct message and I'll reply to you. I'll give you whatever questions, whatever, like anything you want answered, I'll answer it. I'm easy with that.
You're gonna open the floodgates now.
Yes.
By saying that everyone can contact you and you reply. You'll get hundreds of DMs. All of them. Okay, so yeah, Dana was a great catch up. Look forward to following up again in future and seeing how the personal brand is scaling, how clothing brand as well, how that's doing. And I wish you all the best until then.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you for getting me back on again. I appreciate this, and it's good to talk about my experience.